in Las Vegas, we have the highlights.
An NBA star is found unconscious in a Nevada brothel.
And Rebel Rise played host to a rebel rock star and a music festival creator. Studio G starts right now. It's October 14th, 2015, and welcome to another edition of Studio G. I'm Alexa Vita.
And I'm Deshello Balogan. It was a victorious comeback for Hillary Clinton, a frontrunner who has been on the downswing. The former Secretary of State and First Lady stepped onto a debate stage once more last night. It was also the first time many voters were exposed to her four Democratic opponents. Here's a quick look at some of the Las Vegas debate's memorable moments.
Are you all ready? All right.
I have a range of views, but they are rooted in my values and my experience.
We're going to win because first we're going to explain what democratic socialism is. And I think we should look to countries like Denmark, like Sweden.
But we are not Denmark. I love Denmark. We are the United States of America.
One of the things that was not reported during that heartbreaking night of unrest in Baltimore was that arrests had actually fallen to a 38-year low.
Anderson, you're looking at a block of granite when it comes to the issues.
It seems like pretty soft granite, though. I mean, you've been a Republican, you've been an independent.
Did you hear what I said?
Secretary Clinton, is Bernie Sanders tough enough on guns?
No, not at all.
And I would say this. I've been waiting for 10 minutes. I will say this.
You're over your time, though.
Well, you've let a lot of people go over their time.
I am not a pacifist. Yes, I happen to believe from the bottom of my heart that war should be the last resort.
But tonight, I want to talk not about my emails, but about what the American people want from the next president of the United States.
But the American people are sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails.
Thank you. Thank you.
Secretary Clinton, do you want to respond?
No.
Do Black lives matter or do all lives matter?
We need to combat institutional racism.
The point that the Black Lives Matter movement is making is a very, very legitimate and serious point.
Everybody on this stage has changed a position or two. I never took a position on Keystone until I took a position on Keystone.
Why should Latino voters trust you now when you left them at the altar at the moment when reform was very close?
I didn't leave anybody at the altar.
There is such a difference between everything you're hearing here on this stage and what we hear from the Republicans.
Here. Donald Trump, that carnival barker in the Republican Party.
Would you shut down the NSA surveillance
Absolutely,
program?
Of course.
You said you smoked marijuana twice, didn't quite work for you.
CNN has declared Hillary Clinton triumphant in the first debate. The next presidential debate takes place in Boulder, Colorado on October 28th, when the Republicans square off again.
Legalizing marijuana for medical use and for recreation use has been a hot topic over the last few years. Las Vegas' first legal marijuana dispensary has opened this past summer. Nicole Lewis has a story.
Just that it's important for people to understand and get educated about medical marijuana. I think a lot of people don't understand the benefits and what it can do to help. So I really promote and push people getting educated.
Euphoria Wellness is Las Vegas's first legal medical marijuana dispensary. The dispensary opened in August and is located on Jones Boulevard and Robindale Road.
We have a very large variety of patients, age groups, all the way down from 18 up to 80 years old. All different types of ailments, anywhere from eating disorders to extreme pain management.
Euphoria Wellness also sells a variety of marijuana paraphernalia.
It's already preloaded, pre-filled, ready to go. So all you do is inhale and throw it away when it's done.
Euphoria Wellness offers a wide range of medical marijuana delivery systems which provide patients with more choices other than smoking. You can also take a look at the plant before purchasing.
And then here we always have what the levels are from it being lab tested. And I totally believe in curing someone naturally, helping them feel better naturally, I should say. There's so many problems with drugs and the side effects that can happen with prescription medication that it's nice to be able to do something to help people that's safe.
Darlene Purdy believes that more medical marijuana dispensaries will open in the near future. For Studio G, I'm Nicole Lewis.
It seems like marijuana use is becoming more socially acceptable. So far, 23 U.S. states have legalized medical marijuana usage. This will be a story we will be following in the future.
Nevada may want to pay attention to what Oregon is doing with their dispensaries. They had a record-breaking $10.8 million in pot sales in the first 6 days, with it being legal for recreational use. Oregon joined Colorado and Washington on October 1st to become the third state to legalize the drug. Customers can buy 1/4 ounce per day. Tax revenue projections will surpass expectation. Eventually, the Oregon Tax Commission estimates sales will bring in $10.7 million in tax revenue.
Now an update on a story that broke yesterday. Lamar Odom, former NBA player and a brief rebel, was found unconscious on Tuesday in a Las Vegas area brothel. The former husband to Khloe Kardashian was at a brothel just north of Pahrump. Owner Dennis Hoff said he was transported to Las Vegas area hospital. His former wife is reportedly by his side. Hoff says to his knowledge there were no illegal drug use, but he was taking a lot of herbal Viagra. His condition is still unknown.
Local organizations around Nevada are doing what they can to raise the awareness of bullying. Studio G's Eddie Vargas with the story.
There's this game that the bullies like to play. It involves my book bag being thrown into the community pool. They did it so
Bullying has become a big problem all over the country in recent years. According to studies by Yale University, bully victims are 2 to 9 times more likely to consider suicide than non-victims. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for 15 to 24-year-olds in the United States. Bullying-related suicides in Las Vegas have raised the awareness of parents, teachers, and students in our community. Former Metro Police Officer R. Byron Stringer knows the severity of this issue, and for this reason, he has created toe tag monologues.
Nobody's really telling us what to do to save our kids. And that's why I've written the toe tag monologues, to send out the message that there is hope, that you don't have to end your life, that you don't have to follow the crowds, that you can be a leader, not a follower, that you are unique, you're not a mistake, and you are loved.
Toe tag monologues present real life and death situations children face every day, such as school violence, bullying, and self-esteem issues. If you know anyone that is a victim of bullying, report it online to the Clark County School District. Reporting for Studio G, Eddie Vargas.
Toe tag monologues are committed in making a difference in our community and have been performed all around Las Vegas high schools. Coming up on Studio G, Rebels rise up for an event that helps students advance in their college careers.
Then we sit down with the creator of Life is Beautiful to talk about one of the most popular music festivals and about the Las Vegas community. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Together,
we
can
feed
everyone. In Vietnam, we took care of each other.
In combat, you look out for your battle buddy.
I'd do anything for my unit.
When things get tough, it's great to know
somebody's there for you.
Every step of the way.
DAV stands behind America's veterans to make their transition back home easier, with free services and help getting the benefits they've earned. Help us fulfill the promise to our men and women who served. Go to DAV.org to learn more.
The United States Air Force has a proud history of leading our nation in embracing diversity. We've been reaching new heights for years by understanding it's our individual experiences which make us strong. You can share in this success by seeking opportunities to learn and grow as a member of a diverse team. We are the world's greatest Air Force, not because of what we do, but who we are. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
If you keep tanning, indoors or out, the effects of harmful rays will show up on your skin. Wrinkles, age spots, and an increased risk of melanoma, the second most common cancer in women 15 to 29. Stop tanning. Time may not be on your side. Learn how to protect your skin at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Studio G reporter Jordan Lorenzo covered yesterday's Rebel Rise event. She got more information on what the Academic Advising Center has for students today.
The Rebels Rise is an annual event put on by UNLV Academic Advising. The event is designed to help with retention rates of students by promoting the pillars of the event. RISE stands for Reflection, Involvement, Scholarship, and Engagement. The Academic Advising Center incorporates these things into their event by having components like their career panel discussion. This is where they invite UNLV alumni to come and answer student-submitted questions on topics like what employers are looking for or what's the most important thing students can be doing now.
Advice that all the panel speakers gave was really great, whether it was academic or just in life or career-wise, it was very great.
Starting off with the career panel, they were very inspirational. I got some great knowledge on writing resumes and how to execute interviews. It was really great. The interviews between Rihan and Ronnie from The Killers was fantastic. These guys were hilarious. Had me busting the whole time. It was overall a great event. Really brought everybody together. And I won this Fitbit. I'm really stoked about that too. But overall, yeah, great day. I'm glad I came.
It's not a shock that Ronnie Vannucci, drummer for one of Las Vegas's most popular bands, The Killers, stole the show. His question and answer with creator of Life is Beautiful, Rehan Chowdhury, was said to be the most engaging part of the event. Both had a lot to say about staying focused on a path to a degree. After the panel, they also include a resource fair and offer students a chance to get a scholarship if they want to study abroad. There were also 2 students who won prizes during the event, one of them being an iPad mini. You can attend today's workshops on academic resources and involvement opportunities for all UNLV students. For Studio G, I'm Jordan Lorenzo.
And now Rehan Chowdhury is in the studio with us today to recap about the event and tell us a little about his college experience.
Thank you, Deshola. I'm here today with Rehan Chowdhury. Thank you for coming in and taking the time 2 days in a row at UNLV. So could you tell me a little bit about what motivated you to create Life is Beautiful?
Absolutely. So I spent probably 10 years in entertainment events and marketing in some capacity leading up to leaving my job at the Cosmopolitan and deciding to start my own company. I was inspired by music festivals because I've been going to them since I was 14, and they're just such a great way of an entire generation kind of coming together to evolve and to learn and to ideate and to develop their own kind of perspective on life. So I started knowing that I wanted to create a large-scale event like a festival. I got introduced to downtown Las Vegas via a guy named Tom Ellingson, who was a marketing head over at Zappos, and fell in love with the space. I mean, it's got so much history, and it was a long-forgotten area of the city, downtown, specifically the Fremont East District. So hooked up with Tony Hsieh and presented this concept for an inspirational music festival that was kind of equal parts music, food, art, and learning, which was totally experimental at the time. And he fell in love with it. And a year later, we had our first year in 2013, and now we're 3 years old and planning the 4th one.
So the very first one, how did you get the name Life is Beautiful? Like, how did you come up with the name?
Yeah, so we went through a period of time with a close friend who was battling depression. And this was over 10 years ago. And I remember being on the phone with another friend of ours, kind of talking through her situation. And I remember saying, I can't figure out, or I don't understand why she can't see that life is full of hope and beauty and opportunity, and that there's a future there, and that life is ultimately beautiful. So years later, that friend ended up coming out of the closet, and it turned out that she was battling her own sexual identity and how that was going to fit in with her friends and her family, and that was the cause of her depression, her kind of suffering. So it just felt natural that what we're trying to do is combat that kind of feeling of isolation with the event. So to call it Life is Beautiful was the perfect touch.
Wow. And then I know you have given free tickets to UNLV students. Why do you do that?
Well, a couple reasons. College students, especially when they're entering in for the first time, but throughout the journey, there's this feeling of having kind of an isolated experience because you're on a campus and with a group of students, and you're kind of trying to figure out what is going to happen with your life without a lot of life kind of experience going into it, right? Haven't held a full-time job to that degree or worked in a lot of the fields that you guys are studying. But from the outside perspective and owning a business and being a part of the community in the city, I know the value that you guys are going to bring next year, 2 years from now, 4 years from now, 10 years from now. And it's tremendous. The future of the city is in your hands, whether you know it or not. So the best way that we could acknowledge that there's a city out here that's waiting for you to learn and to graduate and become inspired and to create the kind of the future of our city was to invite you to the community event that we hold. And I know that college students, for the most part, don't have a ton of disposable income to be able to buy the tickets. So it was our way of showing our commitment to education, specifically the commitment to the students in this university. And the hope is we can be a larger part of the university each year.
Well, thank you for doing that. I know
You're welcome.
People love the festival, and do you see it continuing for years to come?
Absolutely. I mean, we go into these kind of deals or this business with the intent of doing it for 20 years. I mean, if I can be retiring and looking back on the festival for several years in its history, but then also knowing that it's going to continue on past whatever I can contribute to it, that's ultimately the goal.
And then what is the hardest part of doing, the yearly event?
The hardest part, for me, I was a frequency event producer for the casinos for some time. So we were always producing events on a daily or weekly or monthly basis. For me, the hardest part is trying to constantly be engaged with the idea that we're going to spend an entire year for 3 days. So we really only get one event a year. So starting this year, I'm working on expanding our efforts into other states and other cities to open up new festivals. So our first one we're going to announce is not going to be too far away, but it's not going to be in Las Vegas. It's going to be in the fall of next year. And then we're going to continue to expand and grow them. So hopefully that'll satisfy that kind of desire to do more. But there's that. We've got a great team. So our production teams really just know what they're doing at this point, and it feels like a kind of a well-oiled machine.
That's important.
So it's getting better, yeah.
To all work together and as a big team. And so how do you determine your lineups?
So we have a group of curators. So we work with Another Planet, who's the booking and production company behind Outside Lands and the Treasure Island Music Festival, both in San Francisco. So we work with them, and internally we have a guy named Craig Nyman, who is our local music curator, and then we have a few other people who are kind of involved in the process. And throughout the year, we're constantly throwing out ideas and different names and different bands that we'd like to see that we feel like would round out the story and the experience. And we vote on them and we put offers in and we see who we can get.
Wow.
Yeah. And we do the same process for food, art, and learning as well, because we've got talent that we're booking across all 4 categories.
The ones who do all the murals downtown.
Yeah, so we have a curator. Her name is Charlotte Dutois. She's from Puerto Rico, and she's got a company called Just Kids, and they do art curation for 70% of the art program, which is all the street arts, the street artwork of the murals. And then we have a local team that does, Kat and Joey over at First Friday do the art motel.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and coming back to UNLV, and we'll be right back.
I remember the moment clearly.
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trapped beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
Drownings are a leading cause of death for young children. Simple safety steps are the best way to prevent these tragedies. Make sure kids learn how to swim. Always watch them in and around water. Properly fence all pools and stay away from drains. Consider the steps you take, then add a few more. Because you never know which pool safety step will save a life until it does. Simple steps save lives. To learn some new ones, visit poolsafely.gov.
Can I go to the sleepover?
I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, no thanks, not my thing.
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Welcome back. Check out this video from Florida. You can hear this U.S. postal truck falling apart. This after a water sprout picked up the truck and slammed it to the ground twice. The entire thing was caught on camera this past weekend in Tampa, Florida. The driver was not injured. Wow, nothing like that here. Thankfully, no one was hurt.
The 8th annual Choreographer Showcase took place this weekend at Treasure Island. Reporter Taylor Carter gives us an inside look at the show.
Nevada Ballet Theater and Cirque du Soleil performers are collaborating for a one-of-a-kind experience called a Choreographer Showcase. The pieces feature a unique combination of dance styles and performers.
The unique opportunity to mix disciplines. And when I've done this in years in the past, I've used acrobats and ballerinas together. And this year I just really wanted to get a strong, theatrically bold piece. So I put the clown with all the ballerinas.
My dancer, Lindsay, is from CAW, and she is absolutely fantastic. She's a gymnast and tumbler, so in her featured episode, she does a ton of tumbling, both through the house of the theater and on stage.
Artists from both Cirque du Soleil and Nevada Ballet Theater have choreographed pieces for the show. A majority of the dances have a common theme that celebrates women.
One of the songs for an episode of my work is very much about a very independent woman, so it fit in with that theme really well, mostly unintentionally, and now I think it absolutely works.
The ocean is usually called a woman, so I didn't want to have men and women in the piece to represent the ocean. I just wanted women. And I think that it kind of creates this subtle dynamic between the male character Ulysses and all the women who are moving. Kind of an interesting power play between men and women as well when you look at it. And I didn't really think about that. It just, as I was creating the piece, I recognized places where the women were strong.
For more information on the event, you can visit nevadaballet.org. For Studio G, I'm Taylor Carter.
The last performance is Saturday, October 18th. Don't miss out on this one-of-a-kind performing arts experience.
When we return, we will be front row center with UNLV-TV.
Then we will chat with our Hawaiian student body about being the 9th island. Studio G will be right back.
And now, another adventure with Savings Man.
Look, honey, it's my Social Security statement.
Oh, gosh, how are we going to retire on that?
Never fear, young savers.
It's Savings Man.
You need to save more. You'll need this.
Oh, the ballpark estimate worksheet.
That's right. Get it at choosetosave.org and find out how much you'll need to save for your future.
Gee, thanks, Savings Man.
No, thank you.
So visit choosetosave.org and stay tuned for more Savings Man.
Ever wonder what makes us, the Smurfs, so happy? The forest, of course. This is where we, along with the beautiful forest creatures, make our home with beautiful plant life, clean water, and endless adventures. It's a place to celebrate. So discover the forest with your family today. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Season 4 of UNLV's television show, Front Row Center, is now airing. The student and faculty ran the program shows a variety of talent, including live performances and appearances from different artists around the valley and the country.
You should watch Front Row Center, your home for Las Vegas art and entertainment. Yes, I really enjoy doing this show. It's amazing to get all of the Las Vegas arts and entertainment talent on the show. And we're basically the home for arts and entertainment for Las Vegas.
My name is Deshola Balogan, and I am co-host of Front Row Center. students and just people in general should watch the show just because it's a good show, you know? We have some people that are actually from UNLV on the show. We have people all around from Vegas. We have people that don't even live in Vegas on the show.
We try to keep it local and UNLV. You can watch us online on the UNLV-TV website. So actually all 4 of our seasons, we're currently in our 4th season, and you can watch all 3 previous seasons and this season right away. So essentially when we film today, it should go up in the next couple days, and then we're about 3 weeks out, and it airs on Clark County Television, and that's Channel 4 on Cox. And yeah, all week. The very first showing is 4 p.m. on Mondays, but yeah, it airs multiple times a day, all week long.
So right now we're getting our first performance in on the stage, and we're just rehearsing. You should definitely watch Front Row Center because it's very entertaining.
For Studio G, I'm Sarah Shelton.
Anyone can watch Front Row Center live or previous episodes at unlv.unlv.edu.
From the islands to the mainland, Hawaii residents have been enrolling at UNLV for many years. Yuna has a story.
Las Vegas, they call it like the 9th island. And a lot of people from Hawaii like go to school here.
Adjusting was not hard just because I had a lot of friends around me, a lot of people that I knew from home.
A great number of out-of-state students that attend UNLV are from Hawaii, so it's no wonder that they also consider it their second home. It's still similar enough to Hawaii because there's like food places, there's just a lot more things to do up here, but it doesn't feel like you're in a completely different environment. So I think that's why it's so popular.
It's like not a dramatic change, but it's comfortable because I know so much people up here, so it's not such a culture shock. I knew like maybe 5 classmates that graduated from my high school when I came up here.
UNLV also offers various accommodations for students from Hawaii, such as the Iwalu Club and a special student orientation.
We do community service. It's kind of like a fraternity or sorority. Every year we put on a luau. A lot of people will dance in. For new student orientation, at first I thought that I was going to have to come up here for it. But then we found out that they have a specific orientation just for Hawaii kids. So they had like a bunch of people from the staff come down.
For Studio G, I'm Yuna E.
Las Vegas really is the 9th island, and it's all thanks to Hawaii residents bringing along their aloha spirit.
And finally today, fans of Will Ferrell can now party at the bar, homage to the comedic actor. Stay Classy New York is a Manhattan bar featuring decor and drinks inspired by Ferrell's TV and movie characters. The bar will host parties inspired by Ferrell's films, including Anchorman and Talladega Nights.
Stay Classy New York. Do you like Will Ferrell?
I do. I'm actually going to New York for Halloween, so maybe I'll check it out.
I think you should, because
Yeah.
I love like Step Brothers and like all those movies.
All his movies are so funny.
They are.
I always laugh.
Well, that's all the time we have for you guys today. I'm Deshaun Logan.
And I'm Alexa Vita. Tune in tomorrow for the Thursday edition of Studio G. And stay classy, UNLV.
Stay classy.
Stay classy.
Always.
That show went by really fast.
I didn't think so. That must be the moment.
Like I could have.